This is my second attempt at using the keyframe feature after doing the firmware upgrade for my Skydio 2. The first time I realized I wasn't setting enough keyframes and not being nearly selective enough. So I'm back at the same lake, and this time I'm setting the keyframes at each of the supports, and I went as far as I could before I was getting the signal that the transmission was bad. So hopefully it turns out a little bit better. Okay, this is about where I started getting a little bit nervous about losing the transmission. Not to mention, since this is only my second time fooling with keyframes, doing it over a body of water wasn't the brightest idea I've had in a while. So I set the next keyframes just to pretty much make it back to the starting point and then go from there. Okay, I finished adding all my keyframes. I'm back at my starting location. Now, rather than have the drone fly the keyframes backwards, I just went ahead and selected the first keyframe, then hit the play button, so it'll go ahead and fly the forward mission, I guess you could say. Still think the obstacle avoidance factors in a little bit. It just seems like the drone wasn't flying exactly where I set the keyframes. But again, new to this, only my second time trying it. Trying it over water wasn't a terribly bright idea, but it definitely, you can see, is a much smoother flight. And I didn't hit anything, which is good news. And you can tell the flight back when I'm nowhere near those supports, it's a much smoother much smoother flight. It's not having to avoid anything. So I think, again, in tight situations, the keyframes work. Perhaps a little more practice on my part will make it even a smoother flight, but it does work as advertised. It's pretty cool, fun to play with, and I'll keep trying.